Hello everyone. I will be discussing the traffic laws, rules, and regulation. We have the sources of such laws. We have Republic Acts, we have executive orders, presidential decrees, letters of instructions, administrative orders, in some implementing memoranda, and other special laws that is relative to traffic operation and traffic law enforcement. Because as a traffic law enforcer, it is essential that you should be familiar with these rules and regulations. Now, in addition, these traffic signs, pavement markings, and other control devices are traffic law themselves. Now, violation of such it constitutes misdemeanor or infraction of law. Okay, so common example of the Republic Acts, we have RA 4136, no? So RA 4136, that is the basic law that regulates land transportation in the Philippines. And we have RA 6539 as well, the Anti-Carnapping Act of 1972. It penalized carnapping. And we have RA 5448. This is an act that imposes a tax or taxes on privately owned passengers or passenger automobiles, motorcycles, scooters, no, something like this. And we have PDs. Okay, say for example, in the PDs we have PD number 96. It regulates the use of sirens, bells, horns, and the likes, no? And there are prohibition as well as to the horn bell. Okay, so, and then we have another example of PDs. We have PD number 612, which is it requires compulsory insurance for all types of motor vehicles against third-party liability as an additional prerequisite for registration by the LTO. And we have PD 1686. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It imposes a tax on every motor vehicle that is equipped with air conditioner. Merong tax. Okay, and then we have letter of instruction. Example of this is the LOI number 43. It provides for the removal of all impediments on roads, streets, and highways, no, such as construction, stalled or parked vehicles, and other movable property that obstruct free passage and the rest. Okay, so now let's talk about the important provisions or the selected provisions of RA 4136. Okay, there are lots actually, but I will just, this one is the most, no? Okay, so there are selected provision of RA 4136. These are the most common rules and regulation that commonly violated by road users. Okay, so number one, exceeding registered capacity, or we call this one overloading. Okay, the passenger's freight or cargo load of a motor vehicle should not be more than, no, should not be more than its registered carrying capacity. So conductors of public utility trucks or buses, they are held liable for the overloading of vehicles under their charge. Okay, so all passengers automobiles for hire are required to have the registered passenger capacity. Okay, it is marked plainly and conspicuously on the sides. On the sides thereof, in letters and numerals, no, not less than 5 centimeters in height. Okay, so motor trucks for passenger or freight or private or for hire shall have the registered passenger or freight gross and net weight capacities now marked plainly and conspicuously on the sides. Same lang din, less than 5 centimeters. Okay, another the most common laws, no? The most common rules and regulation na nababiolate ng ating mga road user. Cargo carrying devices. No? The construction of devices for carrying cargo at the rear or side of trucks may be allowed, subject to the approval of the commissioner. Okay, but the total net weight of the device, kasama na yung cargo, must not exceed 100 kilos. Okay. Section 32 of RA 4136, dapat hindi nag-i-exceed ng 100 kilos. Okay, another, we have riding on running board. Okay, it is strictly prohibited. Okay, except for conductors na nagko-collect ng mga passengers fare. Okay, another, riding on top of the motor vehicle. Okay, passengers shall not be allowed to ride on top of motor vehicles. But yung baggage, yung freight may be carried on top of the truck. Provided, merong ano requirement, kung ilang kilo. Okay, provided that the weight thereof is not more than 20 kilos per square meter. Okay, distributed in such a way as not to endanger passengers or the vehicle stability. Okay, so next, let's talk about the required motor vehicles accessory. So every motor vehicle, when operated in a traffic way, should have the following specified accessories: the tires, brakes, headlights, taillights, stoplights, motorcycle and other vehicle lights, lights when parked or disabled, windshield wiper, use of red flag, and mufflers. Okay, next, let's talk about hitching on to a vehicle. Another common violation. Okay, hitching onto a vehicle. So the practices, these practices should be, or it is prohibited talaga, no? Like for example, hanging, hanging on or hanging on to the vehicle or riding on the outside or rear end of any vehicle that is prohibited, or another, holding on, no, holding on to any moving vehicle, whether on foot or otherwise. And another common hitching, example of an hitching to a vehicle, driver allowing any person to hang on to or ride outside of or at the rear end of the vehicle. No, it is prohibited. It is being stipulated in the section 51 of RA 4136. Okay. Okay, next, we have here driving while under the influence of liquor. Okay, not just liquor, but okay, other prohibited drugs as well. Okay, next, obstruction of traffic. Okay, obstruction of traffic by operating a motor vehicle. This is in such a manner as to obstruct, block, or impede the passage of another vehicle. Prohibited. No? So this prohibition applies even when discharging or loading passengers. Okay, next, duties of driver in case of accident. Kaya naman, kunyari, merong aksidente. Okay, so in the event that any accident should occur as a result of the operation of a motor vehicle upon a highway, the driver, okay, dapat i-observe ng driver itong, the following, no? Stop. Okay, stop immediately. Show. Okay, pakita mo yung driver's license to any traffic law enforcer na nag inspect. Give, bigyan mo yung totoong name, yung address, including na yung owner ng vehicle. And then assess. Okay, assess kung merong mga injured persons. Take measures. Okay, take measures to protect belongings of passengers and report the accident. That's the duties of a driver kung merong aksidente. Okay, now let's talk about this one. When could a driver, pwede ba siyang mag-leave? Kunyari, merong hit and run. When could a driver leave the area of accident without being held liable for hit and run? Okay, pinakauna, okay, the following. Okay, his life is in imminent danger of being harmed by other person no, by reason of the accident. Okay, pwede siyang mag-leave. Okay, pangalawa, he surrenders to proper authority. Pangatlo, he summons the assistance of a physician, okay, para tulungan yung biktima. Okay, or nurse to aid the victim. Hindi niya intention, itong tatlo hindi niya intention na tumakas, no? Okay, next. Let's talk about the registration of a motor vehicles. Okay, so RA 4136, no? It mandates that all motor vehicles shall be registered by its owner before the designated district offices of our land transportation office. Okay, law enforcement officers should keep themselves abreast with the proper procedures of registering motor vehicles for them to easily identify unregistered motor vehicles or vehicles having expired registration. Okay, so on the other hand, motor vehicle owners as well as drivers should be aware of the provisions on motor vehicle registration para ma-avoid natin yung mga unnecessary delays and penalties whenever registration-related apprehensions occur. Okay, but before that, let's talk about the classification of registered motor vehicles. So meron tayong private or not for hire. This is also known as not for hire. Okay, these are motor vehicles used for the personal use of their owners. Another, we have public utility vehicles or PUV. Okay, ito na yung for hire. No? These are primarily for registered to primarily for the conveyance of passengers and other commercial goods katulad na kalang halimbawa ng mga passenger jeepneys, mga taxi cabs. Okay, another government. Okay, so these are motor vehicles nang may-ari is mga government offices and are being used for official purposes only. And then we have another diplomat. Okay, the diplomat, these are issued to foreign diplomats and consuls that is assigned in the Philippines. Okay, now let's talk about plate numbers. Okay, you know that upon registration, the motor vehicles are assigned with plate numbers. Yung mga letter, numeral prefixes, as well as the assigned colors, excuse me, okay, nakabase yan sa date. Nakabase sa date, sa place ng registration, sa purpose ng registered motor vehicle, yung plate numbers. Okay? So, meron tayo dito private or not for hire motor vehicles. Meron siyang green with white background sa mga newer vehicles. The first letter usually indicates the region. Okay, the region where the vehicle is registered. For example, pag nagsisimula sa letter N, the vehicle is registered sa NCR or the National Capital Region. Okay, for the new series, 2014 hanggang ngayon, until now, no, black symbols on white background with holograms and barcodes. Okay, number 2, public utility vehicles or for hire motor vehicles. So, meron naman siyang black with yellow background. Okay, usually begin with either the letter N or P or T or U. Itong apat, N, P, T, or U sa NCR. Okay, sa NCR. Since 1995, they always have either V, W, X, or Y, no, in the middle of the letter block. Okay, older license plates starting with N and P may have other letters in the middle of the block, no? Although the V, the W, the X, the Y letters are also present, no? Okay, so for the new series, 2014 until now, black symbols on yellow background with holograms and barcodes, the same. Okay, next, government motor vehicles, red or maroon with white background. Okay, usually it starts with letter S. Again, the government motor vehicle, usually it starts with letter S. Okay, for the new series, 2014 until now, red symbols. Red symbols on white background with holograms and barcodes in the agency or office naka-indicate. Okay, another, we have diplomatic or other exempted motor vehicles. Okay, blue characters on a white background plates, no, reserved for yung mga diplomats, okay, embassy and consulate official, mga country ambassadors and some expatriates, no, such as scientists, mga researchers, katulad na lang ng International Rice Research Institute or the IRI, in the form of 5 or 6 digits. Okay, the same yung 2014 until now. Okay, yung ambassador, you take note, the ambassador plates are always 1,000. Again, basta ambassador, 1,000. And have the country they represent at the bottom of the plate. Okay, these plates have a small decal on the bottom left part with a CM. Okay, capital CM. Okay, yung 1,001 to 9999, a small decal on the bottom left part displayed as DC sa mga diplomatic corps. Okay. And 1,000, okay, 10,000 to 25,999 sa mga embassy vehicles. Okay, a small decal on the bottom left part displayed as OFV, no, for other exempted vehicle. Same yung, okay, for the new series, 2014 to present, black symbols on a light blue background with holograms and barcodes. Okay. So another, sa mga trailers naman, meron siyang yellow or green plates. Okay, mostly have either U sa mga private, letter Z naman sa mga for hire, no, in the middle of the letter block. Again, sa mga trailers, meron siyang yellow or green plates that mostly have either U or Z. Yung private, letter U. Yung for hire, letter Z sa middle of the letter block. Okay, another. Okay, the electric vehicles, orange naman yung plates. Okay, orange plates are used. Okay, white symbols on orange background. Okay, sa motorcycles naman, private motorcycles have green characters on a white backgrounds with the letters kani MC stamp on the upper left-hand corner, no, next to the registration sticker. Okay, usually in the format of AA 1111, but with the rise in the number of motorcycles on the road, the 1111 space AA format has also come into use. Okay, another, tricycles. Okay, private has green characters and a white backgrounds with the letters M, capital MC. It is being stamped on the upper left-hand corner next to the registration sticker. Kapareho din ng motorcycle. This is very rare since tricycles are usually bought for hire. No, for hire. For the public utility, it has black characters and a yellow background with the letters capital T, C. Okay. Nakastamp naman siya sa upper right-hand corner next to the registration sticker. Another, we have the DOT or the Department of Tourism accredited vehicles. Okay, so these are usually tour buses, no, and airport taxis, which are issued with plates that look similar to those of private vehicles, but have yellow highlights mixed with the green color and share the same first letter of current PUV plates. Okay, a must special taker or sticker indicating that they are DOT accredited. Naka-indicate na DOT accredited sila and it is being placed on the rear windows. Another, optional OMVSP, optional motor vehicle special plates. This is naman a project of the LTO since 2004 in the letter of or in the form of three letters rather in two number like that DGD 24. Okay, next, personalized plates. Tinatawag nating vanity, vanity plates. Nakikita nyo, personalized plates. Anyone desiring to have, kung gusto niya magkaroon ng personalized, dapat, he consider this, marami siyang kinukonsider. Dapat unique. Okay, there should be a uniqueness. Na the plate, dapat yung plate, it does not have a registered duplicate anywhere else in the Philippines. Okay, and then it should not have the same format as government vehicle as well, no? And as to the price, we have here premium edition and select edition. Okay, example of premium edition 111 ABC. So, kunyari yan, nasa 15,000. Yung select edition, example Darlit, okay, nasa 10,000 naman. Okay, another, we have here commemorative plate. Okay, so yung commemorative plate naman, these are what we call special plate numbers. Ini-issue ito sa mga specific purposes. Kunyari, merong mga, wala dito? Okay. Kunyari, merong mga fundraising for government projects and programs. So, meron pala. Okay, so that's commemorative plates. So, meron pa dito mga dimension, mga medium. So, hindi ko na sinali. So, masyadong marami. Kayo na lang mag-ano, ha? Okay, now let's have a glance with geographical designations of plate number. So it can be, this geographical designation of registered motor vehicles, it can be determined by the beginning letter. Okay, B, C, D, E, F, G, H. Okay, pause mo na sa I. So, from region 1, 2, 3, 4A. Yung sa A, sa region 1, nasa Ilocos region yan, no? CUR, Cordillera region. Yung B naman, region 2, the Cagayan Valley region. Yung C, region 3, the Central Luzon region. Okay, and then it is superseded by R, capital R, in 2003. The D, registration 4A sa Calabarzon and 4B sa Memaropa. And sa E, that is in region 5, Bicol region. Yung F, that is region 6, Western Visayas region. Yung G naman, Central Visayas region. Okay, so preceded by Y in 2004, capital Y. And then yung region 8, that is on the Eastern Visayas region. Okay, yung J, that is Zamboanga Peninsula, region 9. And kasama yung ARMM. The key, the region 10 and region 13, Northern Mindanao naman, at yung Caraga region. Okay, region 11, the L, Davao region. And the M, Socsargin. Yung N, NCR siya, 1981 to 1982, 2009 to 2010, with increments of I, capital I, O, and Q. The P, NCR din, 1982 to 1991, pero 2010 to 2011. Okay, same yung increments. Yung R, Region 3, Central Luzon Region. Okay, 8 overflow series for private since 2003. The S, that is government-owned vehicles. Red plate. Okay, red plate. The T, NCR din, 1991 to 1995. 2011 to 2012. Same rin din yung ng increments. The U, NCR din, 1995 to 1997. 2012 until present. Okay, same ng increments. Yung V naman, Region 4A, Calabarzon, and 4B, Memaropa. Overflow series for private since 2000. W, NCR din, 1997 to 2001. X, NCR din, 2001 to 2005. And Y, okay, Central Visayas Region, yung Region 7. Okay, the X. Hindi pala, no? Okay, the X there that is NCR din, 2001 to 2005. The Y, Region 7, Central Visayas Region. The Z is the NCR, 2005 to 2009. And meron din tayong mga approximate year of issuance, no? Meron sa NCR, hanggang simula 1981 hanggang 2013. At meron din sa meron din again provincial plate numbers. Okay, so ang dami nun. So, familiarize with all of those, no? Okay, now let's talk now about schedule of registration. Okay, the registration of motor vehicles should be done annually. Annual yung registration, which follows the numerical suffixes of their plate numbers, no? Last digit of the plate number, itong month. Putol, no? January to October, 1 to 0. Yung middle digit of plate number naman, okay, 1 to 0, 1 to 3 hanggang 0. Yung weekly deadline, okay, the calendar, no? You consider the working days of the month only. Okay, so you have to take note that vehicles may be registered 1 month in advance of weekly deadline. Okay, for motorcycle, use the third digit. Okay, so now let's talk now about this one, the old and new. Okay, old designated license plate number. Okay, so kunyari, meron tayong plate number na TNG984. Okay, it is registered, no? This shall be registered in April every year because the last digit is 4. Okay, dapat April. And the day of registration falls into April 15 to 21. So, since the middle is 8. Okay. So, next, yung new naman, yung new design na plate. Okay, design license plates. Kunyari, meron tayong NAV2832. Okay. Sa example na yan, it shall be registered in February every year because the last digit is 2. Okay, and the day of the registration falls in February 1 to 7 since the second to the last digit is 3. Okay, another, two-wheeled vehicles naman tayo. Sa old, kunyari merong DD2425 na sample plate number, okay, it shall be registered in May every year because the last digit is 5. And the day registration falls in May 1 to 7 since the middle digit is 2. Okay, so another, the two-wheel vehicles, yung new naman, sample plate number, kunyari, VD 72468. Okay, it shall be registered in August every year because the last digit is 8 and the day of the registration falls in May 8 to 14 since the middle digit is 6. Okay, so and then we have optional motor vehicles special plate. Okay, meron siyang Ayan 86, so tatlong alpha characters. So, 3 alpha characters and meron siyang 2 numeric characters. Okay, so it shall be registered in June every year because the last digit is 6 and the day of the registration falls in January 15 to 21 since the middle digit is 8. Okay, so now let's talk about, may iba siya dito nun. May iba. Okay, letter prefixes on plate numbers. Nag-iiba siya pag nagsa-start na ng presentation. Okay, letter prefixes on plate numbers. Okay, the letter prefixes, it indicates the place of initial registration sa motor vehicle. At saka yung year din, year of initial registration. And the possible year model of the registered motor vehicle. It could be determined from the order of the letter prefixes, no? Okay, the higher the letters, the later the year of registration and the year model of the motor vehicle. Okay, now between the above motor vehicle, below rather, between the below motor vehicles, yung vehicle 1 tsaka vehicle 2. Okay, so the vehicle 1 was registered earlier than vehicle 2. Okay, and possibly vehicle 2's model naman is later than vehicle 1. Okay, vehicle 1. Alright. So, let's talk now about section code. Okay. Protocol. Let's talk now about protocol plate numbers. For a moment. Shari, ang yung section code. Okay, so let's talk about protocol plate numbers. Okay, these are special plate numbers for high-ranking government official is a manifestation of courtesy towards them or their respective position or offices. Okay, these plates are blue D or DD plates. Okay, these are reserved for top government officials of the Republic of the Philippines. Yung 1, President. The 2, the Vice President. 3, Senate President. Yung 4, na plate number, Speaker of the House of Representatives. 5, the Chief of Justice of the Supreme Court, or the Chief Justice rather. 6, the Cabinet Secretaries. 7, Senators. 8, the representatives or mga congressmen. Okay, 9, as Associate Justices of the Supreme Court. The 10, Presiding Justice and other Justices of the Court of Appeals. Kasama si Solicitor General. Okay, 11, Chairman of the Commission on Election, the COMELEC. 12, the Cabinet Undersecretary, and 13, none currently. 14, Chief of Staff of the AFP or the Armed Forces of the Philippines, and kasama na din dito yung chief PNP natin. Okay, and then the 16, the regional trial court judges, and the 17, first level courts. Dito si MTC, si MCTC, Sharia, mga special courts, added by the Memorandum Order number 297, signed by President Gloria Macapagal Arroyo on March 2, 2009. Alright, so this is the part 1 of our final topics. Okay, the rest is to be follow na lang na recorded discussion. Okay, study.